Hi, my name's Sari Hewlett and I help people get pain-free. I help them get active and I help them get strong. And the way that we do that is by helping your back pain. And if you have back pain and it's been chronic back pain, there's a few things you really need to know how to deal with your back pain. One of those would be, what's your pain coming from? How is it manifesting in your back? What's the cause of that pain? Is it your posture? If so, what's your posture type? At the end of the day, if you don't know what that is, you can't manage it. What do you need to do when pain strikes? So if you do get pain, what are you going to do about it and how do you manage it? Do you have a coping strategy? Do you know what to do if certain types of pain occur? And for your own sort of personal management of pain, do you have an idea what flares it up and what helps it? We have a 8-week program, and the process of that 8-week program is to give you all those informations. We want you to be able to effectively manage your back pain, and that's one thing that most people don't really know how to do. There's no better time to actually get started than now. If you leave it longer, you'll find that your problem gets worse, and what we're after is the longer you leave it, the harder it is to resolve, because you have those changes that come into play, and if those changes are in play, then you just don't get the chance to get better. So what are we trying to help you with? We're basically trying to help you with the ability to be able to recognize what's going on in your back, have some coping strategies that you can work with that will help you to manage your back. But at the end of the day, a lot of people flip from this and that, and they try a little bit of one thing and a little bit of another, and it might help short term, but it's not really addressing the whole picture. And that's basically where the problem lies. You're only addressing one little section and you're not looking at the whole picture of what's involved. So our 8-week plan, or our 8-week program, is aimed at fixing that. It's aimed at getting you back into how you need to move, getting you back into how you need to function, and being able to do that in a way that makes sense to you. Because if it doesn't make sense and you don't know why you're doing it and you're not addressing the right issues, then you're never going to get those lasting changes. So how are we going to do that, and why are we doing that? Well, basically, I've always wanted to help people. I've always been able to look at bodies and look at biomechanics and being able to sort of suss out what's going on. And over the past 25 years, I've developed how I do that, and I have a really, really good eye, so I can look at you and really get a good idea what you're using and what you're not using, what you're compensating for and what you're not compensating for, or what you need to work on. I found that basically the biggest pitfall and the biggest issue that people have is that they don't get that. People in pain don't believe there's a way out. People in pain don't, you've tried a bit of this and a bit of that. And it's very, very hard to trust somebody who you don't know, because everyone says they're going to help you. And most people in pain sort of feels that they're getting fatigued, they're getting tired, they feel hopeless. They might try something that helps, but it doesn't last. And no one really understands them and no one gets them. And yeah, at the end of the day, I had pain, and that's why I became a physio. I became a physio because I suffered with a lot of pain, and I've been able to manage my pain quite well. I was an ex-skater, and I found that, after 16, 17 years of falling on concrete floors, my wrists were sore, my back was sore, my hips were sore, and I'm able to manage my pain because I understand what's going on with it. Basically, if you have a whole heap of pain, you need to know what you can do. You need to know what will work. You need to know what helps you. But also you've got to have an understanding of why you're doing things as well. If somebody says do these stretches, if somebody's asking you to do things, you need to get it and you need to sort of buy into it. So I found that really educating people and giving them that information and giving you back some power, because if you were in pain, you need to understand what's going on, and having that power behind you to sort of say, yes, this is makes sense, this, if this is weak, it's using this more, I'm leaning this way, so it's causing some compression. If I have a little bit too much work and I load it too much, it's going to get sore because it's compressed. And if I stretch and I ease it, so we really sort of get to the root cause of what's going on. And that has really been what's given us some fabulous results with clients, because we're telling you things that people don't normally tell you. We're telling you things about your posture and how you move and what's weak and what's strong and what's flexible and what's not, and putting that together with what things like your MRI results might have and what's going on that, you know, can have an influence on what you're doing. And then by doing that, you get to take back control, and that's what we're about. We're about giving you back control because you understand what's going on with the process. And, you know, if you know that you have poor posture, you know that you're weak, you know that you need to build up your core strength, you might need to know the actual integral points of how to do that. One of our clients was basically, he had a disc issue, and he was in his early 20s, and he went to somebody and he was leaning over quite badly because he had a disc problem, and whoever saw him said, you need to go away, we can't do anything while you're leaning over so badly, because his disc was bulging and it was causing him to lean away. And they basically told him, go away, and come back when you're straight, and then we can work with you. He did go away, but he stayed in bed for a year because he didn't get straight. And then after a year, obviously, you know, lost his job, couldn't work, had moved back in with his parents, was still uncomfortable. He came to us because he said, you know, I was told that I can't do anything until I'm straight, and I'm at my wit's end, I haven't got any better. And then basically within 2 weeks we had him straight. And we had him straight because he understood that what was happening was he'd had a postural change, his body had adapted to that side, and he was too scared to straighten up because he was waiting for it to happen himself. We've had other, you know, clients who've come in who've been, one particular lady was a triathlete, and she used to do the run, swim, walk job, and that was her life. She was a triathlete, and she had a mild disc prolapse too, and she was told by her doctor, don't do anything, that's it, you're done, you have a disc prolapse, you need to give up sport. And similar story with her, you know, a year later she came in to see us and said, look, I can't do this anymore, I'm active, I'm only 32, and I want to do some exercise. And really what the doctor had probably said was, you need to be careful what you're doing, and what she'd heard was, give up everything. So, you know, again, same with her, because she was in quite a lot of pain, what had happened is she'd lost all her muscle strength, and because she had no muscle strength, her body was now in pain. And, you know, it's things like that that you need to be careful of. And again, similar story with her within a couple of weeks, because she then understood the process with her body, she was pain-free. She wasn't back to jogging because she didn't want to go jogging, but she was certainly back to swimming and running. And we've had, you know, the other end of the scale, where we've had older men who have been, you know, in their 70s, who've again have gone to other therapists and been told, look, you have facet joint degeneration, you have spinal degeneration, you have this, and it's all showing on your x-ray, there's nothing we can do for you, or it's all showing on your MRI scan. And really, when we've actually looked at them, the problem hasn't been the disc issue or the fact that they have, you know, degenerative changes. The problem has been that they've had actual muscle spasm, and one of them had been lifting a gate, and he'd been lifting a gate for 2 weeks to go fishing, and what had happened was, when he went to his therapist that he saw, the therapist was like, I can't do anything for you because it's a degeneration problem. And when he came to us, it was like, well, your degeneration is down here, but your pain is up here, and it's actually a muscle spasm problem. And similar thing again with him, within 2 or 3 days he was pain free. And that's my point. Unless you're addressing what is causing your pain at the moment, then you're not going to improve, because you need to get that, you need to understand what the process is. So our point is, we want you to know what's going on in your back. Our course is 8 weeks, and it's online, and the aim is to give you that education, because you've been in pain for a while. You know your back. You know your back better than we do, and we know, you know, or you should know what makes it worse and what makes it better. What you don't know is what to do about it. So most people know what they can avoid. Most people know what they can do to moderation. Most people know that if they do this, 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 and this, they're going to suffer. So you do have a little bit of a basic understanding, obviously, of what's going on. What we want to do is fill in the gaps. So what we want you to do is find out, you know, what is basic back anatomy. We're going to cover that so you understand what the job is of a disc, what the facet joints are, you know, where the nerves come out of, how posture and everything plays an impact on that, because big thing with that is if you have a facet joint issue and you have a disc issue and you stay in compression, you're making it worse. And you're making it worse because you're compressing it more. And so it's important that you know that information. We need you to understand what your posture and your loading aspects are. So if you do have some loading on your body, you understand what's going on, and you also understand what you can do about it, because if you then load it and you make that worse, then you get pain that's worse. You also need to know what your posture type is. Are you kyphotic? Are you lordotic? Have you got a sway posture? Have you got a scoliosis? Do you have, you know, a forward head posture? Are you flat back? Because that all has a massive influence in how you move and how your muscles move and how your body moves. Is the pain that you're getting good? Sometimes, you know, we move and we do some releases, or, you know, people use tennis balls or they use rollers, and you need to know the difference between what good pain is and you need to know what bad pain is. So, you know, if we do something and you get irritated, if it's been irritated for 5 minutes and you can settle it, that's okay. But if you do something and it's irritated and, you know, it takes you 5 days to get over, that's not good. So it's important that you understand what the different types of things, you know, what is nerve pain, what is muscle pain, what is joint pain, what is, you know, compression pain, so that you can act on that. What is muscle strength? You know, what is your core? Where is it? What does it do? Is your core any good? Does movement affect how your body moves? How to tell if you actually using your core strength? How you also get good posture if you have your poor posture set, how to move into good posture. If you get pain in certain positions, how to alleviate that pain. So we teach you lots of basic tricks and things that are day-to-day little anecdotes that can help you. And also, if you do have pain, what type of strategies can help it? So if you get pain that's caused by compression, what can you do? So if you're standing and you're loading your joints, what can you do to unload it? If you're standing and you're fatiguing your muscles, what can you do to help with that? If you're standing and you're compressing and squashing everything, how can you improve that? If things are on a stretch all the time, how can you alleviate that? So we're going to go through all those tips and tricks as well. So our back pain solution is basically our transformative back pain solution, and it will give you all that information. It's going to run over 8 weeks, and we start on the 1st of October, and the aim is to give you and fill in all those gaps of things that you're missing. You know you're sore, you know you might have a disc problem or a facet joint problem, or you might have a loading option, or you might have this. What you don't know is what to do about it, and what you don't know is how to fix it. And if you do have it fixed, where you know you've been to a massage therapist and they've helped for a little while, or your chiro and it's helped, or your physio and it's helped, or you've tried to build up your core strength with a personal trainer, you've only done one part of it. What you need to do is get all those bits so that you get the lasting benefits, and then you become a little bit more empowered to be able to manage it long term. And that's the aim with this course. It's, like I said, over the 25 years, the biggest impact that we've had is to be able to give people education and to be able to empower them to know what to do with their bodies. So if you have pain A, you do this. If you have pain B, you do this, and you know exactly what to do and what to go to. And you might only need, you know, help from a massage therapist or a physio or a chiro once every blue moon, or once every so often, not every month or 6 weeks, because your aim is that you should be able to drag out and you should be able to hold and maintain your body that little bit longer. I'm not saying that, you know, we can keep you where you don't need to see anybody ever, but what I am saying is you'll have a lot more information about what you can do, so you make day-to-day living and you make week-to-week living, and you're able to maintain that longer under your own steam a lot more. So have a look at our link below, and the link is below for you to be able to have a look at the program and see if it's a good fit for you. And if you are in chronic pain that doesn't cause you to be incapacitated, where it's acute and you just can't move, but if you're in chronic pain that does respond but you can't hold it for long, or you know it's just you're just fed up and you need to do something about it, this program is for you, and I can guarantee that it will help you, because you will find things, especially if you follow what we're asking you to do, it will help you. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that you should do and you shouldn't do, and some tips that might help. So if you are sitting, have a little bit of a rolled up towel that you have, place it behind your back. So if you've got a lumbar roll, use some lumbar support. What this does for you is it just takes away some pressure off your spine, and instead of you holding your body upright, it allows you to relax, because it's really hard work to stay upright, and especially people who use standing desks, you want to make sure that you change positions regularly. So, you know, a little lumbar towel or a little step under your desk so you can put your desk on would be great. Be mindful of what you do that makes you sore and do less of it. Be mindful of what you do that makes you improve and do more of it. Adjust your computer station so you feel that you've got some support that you need, and get adequate rest. If you are fatigued and tired and uncomfortable, then you're not going to heal and you're not going to be rested, and then you will find that you're in more pain. So what I want you to do is be aware that if you're in pain, we all want to get better. We all want a strong core. We all want to be able to move. And I don't want you to waste your time anymore by trying to fix it yourself. You know, you'll spend heaps of cash by using personal trainers to build up your core strength. You'll spend heaps of cash trying to get massage to release the muscles. You'll spend heaps by going to physios to try and get the mobilizations or chiros and get adjusted. And all that you really need on top of all that is a little bit of understanding of how to maintain it. So if you know that you see the chiro or the physio or the massage therapist and you improve, then you know you can get better. What we need you to do is ensure that you stay better for longer before you need their help again. And so that's what we're offering you. We are going to basically run it over 8 weeks. During that 8 weeks, you will have email support. So we will be emailing you the information that you require. You'll have video content, which will give you the video content. We have a private forum group in Facebook, so you can be very interactive. We'll have a Facebook Live, so you can ask questions and be interactive with me as well. And I will do a telehealth consult with you, or a few telehealth consults with you, so I will get to see how you move, get to look at your posture, and I will put that together with your history and your problem pain point history, with what your results in your MRIs and any medical issues that you've had, and see if we can tie all that in together so you end up with basically a plan that will suit you and is tailored to you. So that's our sort of aim for the 8 weeks that we're doing the course, that basically you have the modules and the information required to ensure that you know what to do and how. You should be able to recognise the signs you need to do to be able to prevent it from coming back, and you should have the information available to you to know what to do when that gets sore. And we want to ensure that you have that, so that you can take that control of your body and take that control of what's going on with you, and make sure that you know how. And like I said at the beginning, information is power. So if you find that you're spending lots of money because you're going to massage, you're going to physio, you're going to chiro, you're doing this, you're using a personal trainer, but nothing's really tying in together, then this is the course for you. It will run over 8 weeks. You'll have those access for 8 weeks, and it will be what we call a live round. It will be basically in real time. We'll run this course maybe 2 or 3 times a year. So each time that we run that live round, you're welcome to join us if you've actually purchased the course, so you can have that update. But like I said, on that first one that you come into, I will be doing your initial assessment through telehealth. I'll look at your posture and what you need to do, so we can tailor it for your needs and your requirements. So have a look at the link below. I'm so excited that we can maybe help more people by doing it online. And yes, if you can register, we start on the 1st of October.